Hey everyone, and welcome to our Clips and Highlights channel. If you want to keep up with everything Kyle and I have going on, make sure you subscribe to the main Grinding Gear YouTube channel, which is where we actually do these streams. That's right, we stream right here on YouTube. Oh, and sub to the Grinding Gear podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, really any podcast platform. We're probably there. Thanks.
Yes, excellent, everyone. Everyone take your seats.
Yes, take your seat.
Where am I going? Oh, okay. Probably some sort of summoning thing up here.
Probably have to administrate the tiles.
Yes, but we must.
I called it.
We must properly ministrate.
Oh, do you want to? Let's
yeah,
time this.
absolutely. Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Waiting has commenced.
Commence the waiting. Look at Chewie. So cute. Looks just like Zelda.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter.
Ready? Again.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence.
You're laughing at his
The
mustache.
purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter. On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are.
Yes.
It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
Good question.
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
Fly it to the edge of the
We
universe,
would be
Kyle.
at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino.
No chill. Hell yeah, what a shame.
Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself.
Freaking love him.
Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate.
Everyone's too rowdy in here.
All in favor of agreeing to the Scions' terms?
How long does it take to count all the dinguses sitting around the circle?
Well, I think it's kind of like claps, you know? You just kind of look around and get a feeling. Then if it's close to 50-50.
They got those little lanterns. They should light their lanterns.
"71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it.
A man can count fast.
Fourchenault, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Yeah, Fourchenault. Show us the state of the project.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Cuts over to Fourchenault with his hand down. Such a disappointment.
Well, maybe it's super embarrassing, you know? Who knows what kind of weird
Where you go in there and he's got a giant body pillow?
Well, I mean, who knows? You know, there could be like a full-blown, you know, lady suspended in water, Minority Report kind of situation. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Who knows what they've made to communicate with Heidelin? If Kryl gets inhabited, they may have someone, you know, trapped in suspension. A bunch of heroes wouldn't be into that. Could be real embarrassing down there. And what does Fourchenault have to say? Oh, he's just gonna honor. He's just gonna honor it.
Boo, Fourchenault, boo.
I thought for a second we were gonna go, we know a ship, it's crash land on the moon, we'll go steal the drive from it. That'd be a sick dungeon. Go run the moon.
Oh, moon dungeon would be fantastic.
Yeah. Going through moon caves. You drive the moon buggy.
Wait, what was that about Midgard's armor? Perhaps if Midgard's armor was still alive, in the traditional sense that is, he could have offered to help the vessel attain the necessary speeds. Huh.
Yeah, he did fly through space after all. Propelled by farts, perhaps.
Oh, interesting. Raha says while Vana knew the final days would reoccur at a defined point in the future, she presumably had no way of knowing exactly when.
Right? Right?
I have a rough gauge based on what we told her, though, because we would know what had happened.
Well, that's why I got excited about the Praetorium, because she'd be like, oh shit, that's the guy! Oh my god, I'm gonna do everything I can. Oh, go nuts! Hit all the buttons, Praetorium! And then she's like, I am winded as hell. I'm just gonna...
Oh, I got so excited because I found the Warrior of
I
Light.
was just really excited, so I'm just gonna take a big snooze through all of Heaven's Ward. Can someone take over for a little bit? It's perfect.
So, hey, Heidelin, yeah, it's in pretty close proximity to a calamity. So just keep an eye out for that calamity.
Which one?
And, it'd have been... 7? 7.
Listen, she got our version of the story. She's working.
7?
She's doing her best.
All right, I'm engaging Alpha now.
Yep.
Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was admittedly thinking on my feet for the most part.
Good for you.
But since we require both a means of communing with Heidelin and reaching Meteon, in the spur of the moment, I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the Ark as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the ether burner. I'd like to think it not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though.